So, wasn't going to do a video today. Just going to have my dinner, but I'm letting my steak rest, and I think this wine is just worthy of making a small video on. So, I wanted something big and bold tonight with my steak. It's a prime New York strip. And this is Obsidian Ridge's 11 Rows, Petite Sirah 2016, so it's got a few years on it, but this wine, I already had tasted it, is very tannic. This wine could go so many years. At least 20. The tannin structure is immense. Typically, Petite Sirahs have high alcohol. This one says 14, tastes a little higher, but it's definitely not over-alcoholic, but the tannins are there. Very mouth-puckering, very pronounced. There's dark raspberry. Oh gosh, so much tannin and extremely long length. So dark raspberry, or black raspberry, blueberry, and blackberry, absolutely. There's sometimes a little bit of smoke in Petite Sirah, which I don't like. This does not have that smokiness. This is a lot of ripe, dark fruit, and it's got layers. It's not the most aromatic, but on the palate, it's enormous. It's an enormous wine. It's very, very dark, very opaque. It pours like just engine oil almost. So Petite Sirah, I haven't talked about Petite Sirah in a long time. Small grape, thick skin, and it's by no means a petite wine. They make very big wines, but I used to always think Petite Sirah was one of the best bargain wines. You get it in a restaurant. You don't see Petite Sirah as much, but I still believe amazing steak wine. Really, almost anything else it's going to overpower. It's just got such... The good ones are just so large, so big. Love this. I'll absolutely get another one from Obsidian. If I'm offered it, I'm going to probably lay them down. This needs more time. This is so much tannin. I'm letting it decant for a little bit. I'll have more tomorrow. But I also don't think I could drink a whole heck of a lot of this. It's just that big and thick on the palate. It's got the delicious factor. Some other things are coming out. A little bit of some dried herbs. But mostly it's this big, ripe, dark fruits that is in the forefront. And the nose is a little muted, but I could get some of those dark fruits. It just doesn't come out as super unctuous on the nose, but on the palate it's absolutely super unctuous and delicious and has good acidity. But still very young at 2016. This thing can go decades. It's not often I say this, but this tannin structure, this one could go decades for sure. The Sheldrake 2001 Chardonnay only got better last night. I have more left. God, I'm gonna miss that wine when it's gone. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal with the 20 years on it. Probably gonna message Sheldrake, see what they got out there, if they got any more. Or maybe if I could just also buy just one of their super aged Rieslings. I'm kind of regretting not buying my favorite of the aged Rieslings that we tried, but so be it. What else did I have yesterday? Oh, the Chardonnay from Sandy that tasted like cotton candy, and it continued to taste like lemon cotton candy, which was insane. But great Chardonnay nonetheless. Very different than what I expected. And I think it's on par with Frog's. Maybe not as on par with the Frog's Leap Chard. Close. Very close. And that price point, both of those shards are great, I believe. And they're more along the lines of a restrained shard, more acidic. I suspect neither is going through a full malolactic fermentation, which makes the wine a little bit bigger and rounder. This has more of an acidic zip to it, more like other white grape varietals with a lot more acidity. I want to see how this will evolve. I'm going to do this over 3 nights for sure. I'm going to see tomorrow. I'm going to have a little bit, maybe a glass. The third night I'm going to have the rest. I don't know if I'm going to pair with any food. I should. Maybe just with some cheese. Not a ton on the aroma. Like I said, it's just still opening up. So that's the update on wines from the last few days. I'm going to have some of the sheldrake after dinner and go enjoy the steak in a few minutes. I have the sherries in my refrigerator that I absolutely need to do. I got to make room for some of the wine I have that I don't have room for, but I have to do that sherry tasting very, very soon. Something I've never done. I've never even really had that many sherries, but there's one specific one I've never had, the Palio or Palo Cortado. Prior to the sherry tasting, I probably should talk or have a little bit of stuff in front of me to make sure I'm speaking intelligently to sherries and what they are and which each of them are. The Oloroso versus the Amontillado versus the, which I'm now blanking on, the more crisp, white, less oxidized one, the Palo Cortado. I think there's four. There's four that I have in there that I'm going to do side by side, which I think will be fun. I think it'll be fun. And I don't know if I should pair it with a cuisine, but I probably should. So, all right, I'm going to enjoy the steak. Have a good night.